by my cousin, Engineer Regina Casuga, the eldest among four, the only daughter of the late Nana Casuga, the sixth of the 10 children of my grandmother, Tomasa Casuga. A mother's love, a grandmother's care, a great-grandmother's doting. These are the things we will miss the most from our beloved Lola Mansing. My fondest memories of my Lola are also some of the earliest memories that I have. These memories are of when I was little and we lived some time with my Lola, of those times when we stayed at my Lola's house over the summer or weekends. These memories are memories that I share with my siblings and my cousins, for my Lola never ran out of love to give. I remember there were times she took me to and fetched me from the nursery school. I remember my small hand then clutching her reassuring hand as we walked on the dirt road under the hot sun. My Lola brought me to school with her hands. There were times when, being a kid, I was picky with my food, and when I didn't like what was being served on the table, she would take some rice and ball them up using her hands. Seeing the rice take some shape, I would content myself eating balled rice from my Lola's hand. My Lola fed me with her hands. And just when the day was over, and I was all dirty, sweaty from all the playing and running around the neighbors' houses, the mountain, the ponds, the fields, she would wash me up and scrub me off all the dirt and grime, towel me dry until I was all buffed and clean, ready for dinner and sleep. My Lola cleansed me with her hands. At 6 o'clock, she gathers all her children who were there present and her children's children, us, her apos, Ilocano term for grandchildren, and led us all to kneel down and say the Orasyon or the Angelus. When we pray the Holy Rosary, I remember being fascinated with the way her fingers counted the beads one by one, with the hand gestures during the prayer, the clenched fist put to her chest, her steady voice leading, palms together in solemn prayer, the reverent signing of the cross. My Lola taught us to pray with her hands. In the afternoons after lunch, she would make us take a nap, and she would listen to her favorite radio program. Her hands would lightly pat my thighs to lull me to sleep. My Lola made me rest with her hands. I remember as if it were only yesterday, when I would wake up in the middle of the night to a terrible coughing fit. She would get up too late, take her special homemade ointment, and lovingly rub it up and tell my back. And I remember the warmth from her massaging hands, the feeling spreading until it engulfed me, until the coughing would subside. My Lola brought me back to health with her hands. There were times when I got a little too naughty, did something she forbade me to do, stayed out too late, or strayed too far away from home that it got her worried. My Lola disciplined me with her hands. Through the years, a number of conflicts would arise among siblings, among family members, and I remember my Lola, her hands fending off fights, calming angry parties. My Lola reconciled us with her hands. Only a few years back, when it was my mom who left us, my Lola and I were left in my parents' room with preparing some things for my mother's, which we would be sending her off with. As we were going through my mom's stuff, and Lola suddenly broke down for the loss of her daughter. At this time, it was my hands that comforted her. These are just a few of all the things I will always remember about my Lola. She was very good with her hands. As fate would have it, her husband, our Lolo Martin, left her too soon. She was left to fend for herself and her 10 children. Her hands cared for and raised all these children. I can only imagine all the hard work she had to do, all the courage and the will she had to muster to convince herself that she could do it, all the suffering she must have endured, all the patience she must have had. And I know and I can see that all these have paid off in the final stages of her life. She was, she is, and will always be dearly loved, respected, and revered for all that she was by her children, her in-laws, her apos, her great-grandchildren. Her legacy is everything that she instilled in our minds and in our hearts, with her hands. Now, as we lay her to rest, we let go of those hands that have nurtured our entire family. And we ask the Lord's angels to take her hands and guide her to his everlasting peace. Thank you for everything, Lola Mansing.